have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones. And this is the Talk Beat Jones, and I am Billy E. Jones. I want to thank you for joining us today. It's a wonderful day. It's a beautiful day. Got a little white on the ground, a little snow, so it feels good to be out here in the beautiful city of Highland Park, the capital of Detroit. Thank you, and don't forget to share this program with your friends and let them know. Talk Beat Jones, Billy E. Jones, we're on the air, and always something wonderful for you to share with your friends. Remember, we're not looking for all the people to call in and make all their thoughts. We have folks that's going to give you some wonderful conversation, some great information. But I also want you to know those numbers that's on the line right now that you can see, write them down. Write those numbers down right now so that as we are moving along on the Talk Beat Jones with Billy Jones and my co-hosts, that you too can call and let us know what's on your mind, or a compliment or comment or something that you want to inform us of. So remember the numbers that you see on the line right there: 313-868-0342, 868-0351, 868-4336. I see that I have lines that are busy, so let's see who's on the line to see if we get a line straight. This is the Talk Beat Jones. I am Billy Jones, and who am I speaking with, please?
This is Michelle Broden, and good Wednesday morning.
Good
Happy
Wednesday,
to be
Thursday,
here,
Friday,
honored to be
Saturday,
on the
Sunday.
Beat Jones Show.
It's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, because they don't know what time they may see us, but it's on live. If it's Wednesday,
Right.
if it's Wednesday, it's live at 10 o'clock with Billy E. Jones, Talk Beat Jones, and who do I have on the phone? Michelle?
Yes, this is Michelle Broden. Yes.
Oh, hold on. And the other line, I have, who do I have on this line? Hello?
Hello, you're very low.
Okay, can we turn it up? Okay, it's going to be taken care of for you. Just hang in there.
If you're talking to me, this is Leo Brazil, but I hope you can hear me because I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? It's out here, Tim.
Too low.
Hold. It's out here, Tim. Yes.
Still low.
Hold on, Leo. Hold on. Here.
Can't hear you.
Hold on, Leo.
Back to the other.
Okay. It's that one. Hello?
Hello?
You hear me now?
No, can't hear you.
Okay, Leo, I can hear you.
Yes, sir.
I can hear you. So I tell you what, why don't we do this? Can you hear me at all?
I can't make you out, Billy. I can't make you out.
Leo, call me back at 868. You ready?
I can't hear you.
Leo, can you hear me now?
You're muffled. I can't hear you. And it's muffled and very low.
Okay, hold on. Well, I mean, it must be something there. I want him to change to a different line is what I want him to do. Okay, I'm going to take off one of my watch parties, and I'm going to call him. I can't call him. Leo.
Tell me which line, when you go to the other people, tell me which line you're going to call me.
Got it. Leo, I need you to hang up off of that line, and I need you to call me back at 868-0351. Leo, hang up from the telephone line that you're on. Call me back at 868-0351. we'll try that line. Okay? All right. So, Leo, hang up now and call me back on the other line. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to move along there as we speak before. And family, I'm the program that uses all of the telephone lines. I think, Tim, I think it's the 336 line. It's okay. So we're getting back on the other line, and we'll get that straightened out. We got two lines that's working really well, and we'll see if we can get the other line going up at some point. But once again, Miss Michelle, what is your last name?
Michelle Broughton.
Michelle Broughton.
Broughton.
Okay, let's see if we got it now. Are you there now? Can you hear me now?
Hello, I can't hear you.
Leo, it must be something with your phone.
You're still muffled.
It must be something with your phone. Are you calling me on a regular phone, Leo?
If you want to talk to me.
Oh, got it. Leo, are you talking to me on your regular phone? If you're talking to me on your regular phone, it should work. But if
I am on 868-0351.
My question is, are you on a regular telephone?
Cell phone. I don't have a regular phone.
Okay, you're on a cell phone that's not working, right? Oh, excuse me. Okay, I got it. Leo, I now know how to deal with this. No problem. Tim, don't even worry about it. I got this. This is Talk B. Jones, and this is Dr. Talk taking over. Family, this is the Talk B. Jones, and I am Billy E. Jones, and I want to thank you for joining us. Again, we are working through some telephone difficulties. However, I have figured it out. There will be no more problems. I will make the adjustment just like this. Mr. Leo Brazil, I want you to tell us who you are and what you're about.
Leo Brazil. I'm in Oakland, California. I'm a activist and a retired attorney and former Black Panther and for TV host and professor at Berkeley City College and so on and so forth. My passion right now at 77 years old is political science and reparations.
All right. Now we can hear you. We'll do it just like that, Leo. Okay. Family, this is the time right now where we're talking about the process of, they're talking about impeaching the president a second time. The question there is, if you do not have enough votes to actually impeach Donald Trump for the second time, for what the purpose is, to make sure you can't run for office again, then why are we going through this procedure that's going to make the nation more divided? If you had an opportunity that you knew that you would know that you can impeach the president, fine. But if the Republicans, it's like they're ostrich, they put their head in the sand, they said, no, we're not going to do this, then why are we going to proceed to make this nation more divided? And in terms of the nation being more divided, let's speak on a group of folks that we have not spoken on before. We forget, family, as we go through talking about folks who are black and folks who are white and people who are whatever skin color, we forget one thing, family. We forget about the heart. We forget about the heart, and we forget about the mind. Areas that we'll find very, very difficult to control, if we can control it at all, certain parts, the heart. So where I'm going with this is now, our world is not just a black world, white world, Chinese world, whatever world. We have to realize one thing: because of the heart and our mind and what we want, what we think we want, and what we find, doesn't matter what someone else say, it's what we want. Because my heart says that's what I want. If I'm a black guy and I see a white girl and I want her, then my heart says that's what I want. My mind says that's what I want. And if she's receptive to me, then why should I not pursue what my heart wants? And if I'm a white man and I see a black lady that I feel that we have a kinship, why should I not pursue that? And you can flip it however way you want to flip it, family. But remember, our world is different. We have another population of folks who follow their heart, dealt with their mind, and fell in love. And it didn't matter that he was black and she was white, or he was white and she was black, or however you want to put that. So now we have folks who are technically not white and are technically not black, actually. They are a beautiful combination. So when we talk about the Black Lives Matter, or we talk about the police, and we talk about all these various other things, we forgot. We still have to realize that, yes, but we have those folks who are right there. They're black and they're white. So what are we putting on their mind? And I'm putting it this way, family, because when it comes to voting, what's going to happen in the next 2 years or 4 years, etc., as these people, like my family members, are looking at, how am I going to vote? Am I voting because of the folks that Donald Trump says is right? Or am I voting on the folks, on the fact that my folks follow their heart, didn't care about what color they are, or they were, or they are, and what color I am? All I'm trying to get to, family, is we have to understand this is a different world. It's not just about black folks, not just about white folks. We got to look at my nieces, my nephews, your nieces, your nephews, your sons, your daughters, who are following their heart, who are listening to their mind. It's a different world. We are acceptable of everybody in every situation. Are we going to get this together? Doggone right. Why? Because people are following their heart and they're following their mind. They're not restricted to who they can love. Miss Michelle?
Yes.
What's on your mind?
You can hear me, but now my phone is acting crazy. So I can talk, or you could go back to the other way and I can hear you better, and then I can respond if you can make that happen.
Michelle, why don't you come on and talk to me, and I'm asking what's on your mind.
Okay. So what is on my mind actually is healing the whole family. I teach children, and so often we work with the children, but we also have to remember that when they leave us, whether if you're a teacher, educator like me, or a coach like me, or a counselor, or whatever adult is a mentoring adult, these children have to go back into their home. They have parents. Whatever the combination of a parent is, they have parents. And we need to, well, my one of my missions is to focus on the whole family. Because I told my brother I need to have daddy classes, because not to teach them how to be a daddy, but how to respond when the baby is not reacting, or the baby is sick and it throws up, and that's the first time that daddy ever experienced that, not to panic, but what to do. Because our families, whether you're black or white, Chinese, and anything else in between, are suffering.
Okay.
And the pandemic doesn't make it any better.
Okay.
And you're right, there has been a change, and people should also consider issues. When I go to vote, I don't care about your preference, but I do care about you treating the voters, the society, and making our conditions to which we live better.
Okay.
And that's how I am right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hold on now. Mr. Leo Brazil, I would like to understand, I want to deviate from what everyone is dealing with right now, and I want to talk about reparations and see what you think about that.
Well, reparation is one of my passions and one of my issues. The sister just talked about, and in response to you, about race and color. There's only one race. That's the human race. The fact is that there is a thing called racism here in America, and people should need to understand that. Mm-hmm. And that's what they want to always talk about, race instead of racism. The fact that you will inflict pain or consequences on a person because of their race is wrong. And therefore, we've got to talk about that here in America. So it has nothing to do with black, white, yellow, and all that other kind of stuff. It has to do with the consequences, most especially the social, political, and economic consequences that are inflicted on a person because of this artificial thing called race.
Okay.
So here we are in this America, and we have been operating on the question of racism for 400 years, and there have been consequences. And so if you run through a stop sign and hit my car, you ran through the stop sign, and you hit my car and hurt me. I want to be repaired. I want my car repaired, and I want my body repaired. That's where we are. Racism in America has been a wrong, and it has hurt a lot of people, and it needs to be repaired in America. I don't care about the rest of the world and their racisms and their ethnicities and all these other things, that the ethnocentricities that they have. I'm talking about my country, America. So as a political scientist, I am looking at the political consequences and the economic consequences of racism in America, and that's what I'm going to talk about, and that's what I'm going to be passionate about.
Well, I want to hear your passion because, again, the thing about that is, as a Panther person.
Can't hear you. Speak to me.
I'm sorry. As a person who is a original Black Panther who spoke with passion, and as a community activist, and also as a person who served our community, well, the Oakland community, Oakland Bay Area, Oakland, California Bay Area, as a council person, and still serving as a in the various different roles that you play. I want your passion. That's what this Talk B. Jones is about. It's about bringing people on with passion, people who can give the world, because as I spoke before, the world is out here listening to what you're saying. They all want to know how we're thinking right here. They want to understand why are the decisions being made, and how are the decisions being made, and are the people being involved with those decisions? How are we speaking? What type of conversation? What type of languages are we speaking? When I say languages, even though we all are speaking English, as people are listening, you will find that we use the English language somewhat differently. We speak in different tones. We speak in different words. And some people say, well, are you speaking a different dialect? No, it's still English, but it's a different variations depending upon where you're from, where you are, and what group of people you're with. Miss Michelle, would you comment
on reparations?
Anything? No, I do not want us necessarily to follow the caller. I want you to follow your own thought, what you calling.
Okay, wait. Go back to the other side so I can.
I got it now. I want you to talk to us about the things that's important to you. We're going through. You are in Detroit. What's going on in Detroit?
In Detroit, there is a lot of going on. Well, first, we have the pandemic. So you have that to deal with. You have loneliness. You have people in need. And the pandemic has brought that out. So we have increased food banks for people so that the children or families go hungry. We have a lot of disparity that has the COVID-19 brought out, because prior to that, Detroit will tell you, oh, it's booming, it's a great place, we're building everywhere, Midtown is coming up. But the mayor and the folks that have the power have forgotten the neighborhood, and I'll say it again. The people who have the power to make it change has forgotten the neighborhood. And I'm talking about city council, governor, I'm talking about Wayne County commissioners. You know, they sit in silence. They go about their business and do what they do. They have a pot of money they can. But, of course, if you don't give your neighborhoods, your block clubs, your committees that are in the community the information in time, you never are able to apply for these city grants or block grants to improve your neighborhood. So we have the school issue. Schools are closed. Kids are depressed. They want to be in school. And
I'm sorry to do it this way, but I have to jump in. When you say the children are in school, want to be in school, they're talking now about having children return to in-school learning. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, my personal, it was a personal thought, but I wondered if they could test the children, your teachers would feel comfortable returning. Because the teaching industry is also dwindling, you don't have your new teachers graduating from college wanting to be a teacher. Number one, they don't get paid enough. Number two, they're not respected. And number three is punitive these days in Michigan, in Detroit, to be a teacher because of right to work. So the teachers are older, and your older teachers are afraid to come back because naturally they don't want to be in danger of catching COVID-19. So you have some teachers, they want to be back, and all the kids, if you could poll them, they want to be in school. They miss the interaction. Like one little kid say, I just want to see my teacher's face. I don't want to look at the computer. I want to see her eyebrows go up. I want to see her ears wiggle. And that's a real thing. Mm-hmm. The students are missing that interaction, but because of COVID, it's scary. So now with the vaccine available, I can't give a percentage because I don't know the real numbers, but teachers are going to get the vaccinations. So maybe it will be safe when we return. But the students are the ones missing out. And the biggest topic today...
Hold on just a moment. Speaking of the testing, what they're speaking of, and I'm speaking now about Detroit, speaking about Detroit, under the new contract with the teachers, they're supposedly, Detroit teachers are supposedly now going to be the highest paid in Michigan. The students, they're proposing that the students and the teachers will be tested on a regular basis. They're looking at how to do the testing once or twice a week. Some folks are talking about maybe doing it randomly. But they're talking about bringing the children back and doing on-site testing. What do you think about that?
Okay, well, for Detroit Public Schools, they have already started on-site testing. And for students and parents, it's a volunteer thing. But for teachers, in order for us to go back into the classroom, I've been tested 3 times already. So they are testing us. It was once a month. We don't have a directive if it's going to be every week or every 2 weeks, but your teachers have been tested. So you're being tested and encouraged to get the vaccine, and we don't have the official word on how they're going to do that for students. But there is a procedure before you go in the building. You get your temperature checked, you're asked the questions, and then you're able to proceed. And, of course, we have the mask and the sanitizers and all of those type of things for it to be safe in the buildings.
I was watching CBS this morning, and they were saying that they had a positive test in the studio, and therefore the people the main folks were not in the studio today. So they didn't say who had the test, if this was, how did the test come about, or if it was their personalities, or if it was their workers, or whomever. But that group of folks was not to come back to the studio, and they were doing it remote, et cetera, et cetera. What happens if in the school, in the classroom, a child tests positive?
Well, we were told we have procedures in place. So now with K through 12, the kids are in what we call pods. And so they have to travel as one group. And if the teacher or the student or support staff within that pod is found to be positive, then they're sequestered and they have to stay home for the 2 weeks. And of course, a deep cleaning will happen. And that is the procedure at DPS at this particular time.
Okay. Hold on, please. Leo, my question to you is, tell me, what's on your mind at this moment?
Well, I'm enamored by the fact that all of the issues that Sister's talking about there are issues that apply to Oakland. We We have the same concerns. She could be talking about our school districts here in Oakland and our children. She's talking about housing or whatever. It's the same problem. It's just a different market. But the difference that I see about my city is that when we were back in the Panther days, we ended up running Bobby Seale for mayor of Oakland for the purpose of focusing our attention on local government. So that gets back into my passion, you see. If we are going to make changes, we have to affect the government that's closest to us. The school board is something that's important. The city council is something important. But the problem is when you look at this political science data, you see that people vote for the governor, they vote for the president, but they don't vote for the city council, or they don't come out in the school board races, or they don't pay attention to who the district attorney is. You see, those down ballot races are a problem.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go right ahead.
And the same thing happens with respect to congressional seats in the off year or the next election. If the governor or the president is not on the ballot 2 years from now, and they won't be, we drop off. And that's where we get killed because, like Sister said, these local governments and these people have access to money that makes our lives different, but we can't hold them accountable because we don't come out and vote and put that pressure on them. And so we have a history here in Oakland of focusing on local governments and everything, and I don't know that you have that in Detroit, and that's what I'm listening for, because Detroit is important to me because of John Conyers and reparations, and I can talk about that.
Reparation Ray.
Go back on your line.
Oh, Reparation Ray.
Right. We know about Ray out here in Oakland.
I know. We were there. Oh, I forgot. Now, Michelle, before I come back to Michelle, I want to go back to Mr. Leo Brazil. Mr. Brazil of Oakland, California, Mr. Leo Brazil, Oakland, California. Can you talk about the situation that we're having with the vaccination at this time, getting the shots?
Well, we are being impacted by this thing than most Americans here in California. So right now it's in a state of confusion because the President of the United States, Donald Trump, did not have a plan in place for the national government to step in and help out. And so he left the governors to their own devices. And it's good to be the governor of Arkansas because you got about 7 million people you got to deal with, or North Dakota where you may have 4 million people. But in California, we got 40 million people in this state. And if you break California up into regions, there are 5 distinct regions or states in this geographical area. And people are moving back and forth constantly in automobiles, and so it's trying to keep up with an airborne disease, and it's impossible without having that coordination. It's going to happen. We're going to get the coordination, but unfortunately, like in any war, a lot of people are going to die unnecessarily.
So we had the wrong general. So we had the wrong general in charge of our nation, because we are way behind, whereby the United States is used to be in front, but they're way behind in terms of taking care of this disorder or this pandemic. And now we're facing the fact that it's mutating.
That's right.
Back to you, Leo.
Are you back to me?
Yes.
That's the thing. You see, this is an unknown enemy. We don't have the forces in place to know how to attack it and how to stop it. And therefore, as soon as we do get the data, when it starts coming in, all of a sudden the disease shifts like an enemy will do. If you start blocking your enemy coming in from the East Coast, he's going to come in from the West Coast. Well, that's what this disease is doing. Every time that we find data on how to stop it or attack it, it then is starting to shift on us. And so we're in a serious war here, and I don't understand why people want to, I want to go back to school, or I want to go back to the club, or no, you are going to die. I'm telling you, 100,000 people are going to die this month, and no telling what it's going to be if we don't get a handle on this.
Do you feel or do you see that people may be relaxing and thinking that we have been in this long enough and it should be okay, as opposed to looking at the seriousness of what's actually around the corner for us or what's actually in our door? Leo?
Yeah. Well, people don't look at seriousness until it comes to their door, and that's what's going to happen. You may not get it, but your grandmother or your mother or whatever. My brother just the other night announced that over in Gambia, I think it was, he was saying in Africa, his brother went over there as a Christian missionary, he and his wife out there doing the Lord's work, and he couldn't figure out why this brother caught that disease and died within 4 days after he was diagnosed with it. Well, that's what's going to happen here at home. People do not pay attention to it until somebody personally in their life is stricken down by it. So keep on partying and keep on talking about, I'm tired of this. Yeah, you can be tired of it, but when you can't go to the funeral of your loved one, you will then be ready to fight it, you see.
You spoke of a funeral, and after the commercial break, I'm going to come back. I have an announcement to make. I want to real quickly say to Mr. Willie Cool, my good brother. Hey, Willie, my brother, DJ Willie Cool. And also want to thank the Minister Malik Shabazz for a great program he had on Saturday. Also, Minister, you come down or send your folks down to the studio today. I was making a contribution to you, to your program, to you, of $30, and I decided that I needed to match my 30 with another 30, and that was to leave you with $60, make a contribution to Minister Malik for $60. Well, Minister, I spent $10, so I'm leaving the $50 here at the studio today for you, so you can send your folks down today to pick up $50 for Minister Malik Shabazz. We're going to go to that commercial break, and after the commercial break, before the commercial break, let me do this. My other co-host that was going to be with me today, Candleman, I'm sad to make this announcement that in Detroit, Candleman's in Detroit. He has, I believe it was his niece. And another young lady. They were both, well, one is 18, one is 19. They were murdered last Friday from this day in a hail of about 40 bullets. So the Candleman is of course, not going to be with us today. We want you to pray for the Candleman, his family, and it's sad because Candleman was on the air with me before, and his daughter was murdered. So with his family, my heart, my spirit, and my soul is with you, my brother. We're going to go to the commercial break, and we'll come back, and I ask the family to send your love and your prayers to the Candleman and his family. We'll be back after these commercial announcements.
We have an array of products to assist you in all your beauty or body needs. Do you want curly, soft, beautiful hair? Well, try our Relaxer line, designed to leave your hair soft, silky, and full of body. Or would you like beautiful, straight, shiny, long-lasting hair? Well, try our Cherry or Extreme Hold Spritz with our Cream Shine. It's guaranteed to give you that look you want. How about dry, achy feet or legs that you can't seem to keep moisturized? Well, try our African Shea Butter Foot Lotion. We have many products to help you with all phases of your beauty and body needs. For a full list of all our products, please visit our website at www.aeasysilk.com or call us at 313-277-2319.
Hi, this is LaWanda. This is RJ Watkins.
Coming to you to bring you some information about the #1 detox in the nation, Lemon Burn. Lemon Burn helps to turn the fat into fit. It's for you, a happier, healthier you, because you know healthy is the new beautiful. An all-natural way to improve your health. It promotes a healthy digestive system, attacks and reduces belly fat, as well as gives you energy. Need to get yours today. Call 313-868-6612.
Don't forget to exercise and eat right.
We at Watkins Broadcasting care about the health and safety of our viewers and listeners. During this novel coronavirus pandemic, please protect yourself and others. Wash your hands well and often. Avoid touching your face. Cough and sneeze into your sleeve. Practice social distancing. Stay at least 6 feet away from others when in public and only leave the house when it's essential. Stay safe. You are important to us. Watch WHPR and TV 33 when you want, where you want, how you want. WHPR is now in your pocket. Download our free app by going to the App Store or Google Play and enter WHPR TV in the search engine. And there we are. You can download WHPR TV or radio. You heard about it. Now come be a part of it. Roku Detroit Worldwide. Approximately 8 million viewers.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones and we're back with you on the Talk Beat Jones. I am Billy Jones, and again, family, want to thank you for being with us, and please share the program because, again, the information that comes out, you know, you may be talking to someone, you said, oh, here's how that we communicate. You may have someone that you're trying to communicate with, and you don't quite understand what they're saying. Well, by listening to this program and listening to how we communicate, that may help you to understand how to interact between yourself, even your family or friends. Miss Michelle.
Yes. I'm Broughton, educator on the Billy Jones Show. I did want to respond, if I could, really quick. In Detroit, too divided. And what do I mean by that? They have the 14th and they have the 13th. One city, Detroit, is divided in two. I've been a precinct delegate for all.
Hold on just a moment. When you say the 13th and the 14th, remember, we're not talking to the Highland Park and the Detroit folks. We're talking to the people out of state, out of this country. So you have to break that down when you say 13th, 14th, please.
Okay. I'm a precinct delegate. So we have a 13th Congressional District Democratic Party, and we have a 14th Congressional District Democratic Party. Years ago, it used to be the 15th Democratic Party, one group that covered all of Detroit, but they don't want us to have the power to invest in local politics or educate our people in local politics so that we can control the conditions of the life in the city that we live in. And so I just wanted to let him know, I have personally asked the question, Jonathan Kinlock, Rick Blocker, why don't you two come together and together bring the part?
I'm sorry, hold on. But when you say Rick Blocker, Jonathan Kinlock, you have to identify who they are, what they're about, because otherwise the folks don't know.
In Detroit, Jonathan Kinlock is the chairman of the 13th Congressional District, and Rick Blocker is the chairperson for the 14th Congressional District. And it's divided when it should come together. Nobody wants, because everybody wants to be a chief. They don't want any Indians, and they definitely do not want to educate people, the citizens, the precinct delegates, the voters, so that we can vote for the leaders that care about the citizens that live in this area, which is Detroit, Michigan. So I have asked these two leaders to come together and consider it. If nothing else, they can still have their chairman seat, but why don't you care enough to educate the voters, to educate the people, so that we have one mission that will create a community that is healthy and well.
I'm going to ask you just a moment. Caller, I'm coming to you. You're just making a call, so I'm coming to you so you'll know that it's you that I'm coming to right now. Caller, you got to talk to me. I'm coming to you right now. I can't talk to you directly, so I'm pushing the button, and I need you to talk. You've just called in. You have not spoken to us at all. I'm trying to reach you, talking to you now. Talk to me now.
Good morning, my brother.
Hey, good morning, Minister Malik Shabazz. How you doing? Oh, remember, brother, I can't talk back and forth with you unless I keep cutting you on and off.
Okay. Hey, Billy, how are you, brother? Happy New Year to you. I don't know if you can hear me.
Brother, I just need you to go ahead and talk. I can hear you fine. The only way that, the phone works, if we push the button down so that you can talk to me on the air, then you can't hear me respond. So you just have to go ahead and talk, and I have to cut you off by the button. So just go ahead and talk. You can't talk back and forth to me, please.
Stan, I want to thank you for the donation, Brother Billy. Much appreciated, much needed. And real quickly, if I could, I'd like to let the viewing audience, the listening audience, know that this Sunday, which I believe is the 31st of January, at 1 p.m., we're going to meet up on Dequindre and Nevada 48234. We're still looking for those who murdered this black father, Stephen Radcliffe, by SUV. We're going to meet up at that bus stop. We're going to hit that bus stop with literature, and then we're going out into the block. So they can meet us Sunday, 1 p.m., Dequindre and Nevada. And I'd like to thank you for allowing me to make this opportunity. Thank you for taking my call, and thank you for the donation.
Don't hang up. I want you to know, and I want the people to know, the world to know that before there was a Talk Beat Jones, Minister Malik Shabazz, for almost 4 to 5 years, paid for Billy Jones to be on the air 3 times a week for years. And the only reason that I'm not still on the Get Up Stand Up program with Minister Malik Shabazz and also Mr. J.D. Hill, is that they have paid for all of those years, family, paid it for Billy Jones, all of those years. And sometimes it becomes time for you to go down in your own pocket and repay the folks who have trusted and believed in you. The person that have believed in me is Mr. R.J. Watkins and Mr. Henry Tyler. And the personalities, and I was gifted to be trained and to be tutored by Mr. Tatum Eason, who is a guru in the political field, and to be trained here by Mr. R.J. Watkins and Mr. Henry Tyler. But I was selected to represent the Get Up Stand Up program through Minister Malik Shabazz for all of those years, and still. So I had to decide, it's time for me to step out on my own, still be with my folk, but it was time for me to pay the piper too. This man, Minister Malik Shabazz, is my brother, as they say, if there is no other. Back to you, Minister.
Well, thank you, Billy, and thank you for bringing up J.D. Hill. We have to lift up the names of our heroes and our sheroes, both living and those who have become ancestors, and that is the beauty of this great station, which we've all got to support. Where would we be without TV 33? And I want to, in this year, do a better job of making WHPR even more of a household name, and to try to get more sponsors into this station. Let us build up our Black-owned TV station. And also, thank you for bringing up Tatum Eason, the late but still great political analyst, political consultant, political commentator, and advisor to a lot of people.
He's the GOAT. He was the GOAT. But Minister, I want to do this real quickly. You are the Marcus Garvey, the new Marcus Garvey, Black Panther movement. We have on our line from Oakland, California, the Black Panther with Huey Newton and Bobby Seale, Mr. Leo Brazil. I am so blessed to be out here in Detroit and have Minister Malik Shabazz as my brother, and I have on the West Coast Mr. Leo Brazil. So I have the Panthers, bros and sisters. I have the original Black Panther, and I have the Black Panther and the original new Black. Hold on. I want to do this the right way, and the only way I can do it the right way is let Minister speak. Minister, please talk to me for just a moment before I go back to Mr. Leo Brazil.
Yes, sir. Well, it is an honor to have our elder on from the East Coast, OG.
You mean West Coast?
Black Panther.
Oh, you mean the West Coast, Oakland, California?
I mean, West Coast. It is an honor to hear him on here with you every week, the information. And no old school, then there is no new school. We need both. It's not a choice between the old school and the new school. We need both. The elders, the original Black Panthers, paved the way for those of us who are picking up the mantle and trying to pick up the mantle today. And we need each other, the elders and the youth and the elders. We need each other.
Hold on, Minister. Thank you. Mr. Leo Brazil.
Yes, sir. I'm in total agreement with what the brother had to say. And I want to comment on what the sister was talking about when she was talking about the 13th and the 14th. And you told her right that she should explain that because she's talking to people out here in California and around the world. Well, let me tell you, what she was talking about, the 13th and the 14th Congressional District, they did the same thing to us. When we first elected Ron Dellums in 1970, we had Oakland and Richmond in Ron's district. And you know that Richmond, is 20, 30 miles away from Oakland?
That's right.
And so we had a congressional district that encompassed both of those cities that were predominantly black cities. But the Democratic Party wanted to have more influence in Richmond, in Contra Costa County, so they took some of the black votes out of Richmond and put them in the Contra Costa County district and took and weakened Ron in Oakland by giving him Orinda, which was a suburban white community, you see.
Yes.
It was still controlled by the Democrats, but it had this bigger white component. And then the white component out in Richmond had now these black voters in it, so they peeled our black voters off, and it sounds like they did the same thing to you guys in Detroit. So that we had two Democratic districts, but they didn't work together on the problems the way we could when we had one congressman in Ron Dellums.
Hold on. This is the purpose of Talk Beat Jones with Billy E. Jones. You see, family, years ago I spoke about the fact that they use one place as a template to do other things in black folks parts of the world, United States of America, black cities. Are you constantly hearing that they did the same thing in one part of the United States, the West Coast, that they're doing out here in, Highland Park, Detroit? Are you picking this up? This is what we want you to know. When we're talking, that's why I want the West Coast and Detroit to be able to talk so you can find out, folks, that what is happening is not by accident. There is a plan. They test it and then they use it as a template all over. Leo, Michelle, I'm coming to you next. Go right here, Leo.
I can't hear you.
Just go right ahead. I was speaking about how they use this as a template for other parts of the United States in dealing with black cities and how to do gentrifications, et cetera, et cetera. Back to you.
And see, when I told you my passion is political science, this is politics. This is a social science. It's sociology, but it's how we act in a political realm. And that's what they do. They take a gerrymandering. That's how they take them and redraw the districts. So we don't know that in the year 2020, when they take the census, that they're going to now use those census numbers to redraw the lines that are going to affect us until 2030.
Hold on, just a moment.
For 10 years, we're going to have to operate under drawn congressional districts that divide our power. And that's why we have to pay attention to fill those census forms and send them in. That's why we got to pay attention to local government and be involved in our neighborhood associations so those neighborhood associations can bring those concerns to the school board or bring those concerns to the city council or bring those concerns to the district attorney or the police chief, because that's where we have to act. You have to think globally, but you have to act locally.
Hold on. Michelle, are we going through a potentially changing our districts here?
Yes, we are. If and I can't remember the date, but it was back before the pandemic that the legislature or the governor, somebody anyway, they put out applications and you could apply to be on that committee to help draw the lines. Well, I agree with the brother out in the West Coast. He's absolutely correct. However, the educated people that are in charge, even though the congressional people have drawn the lines, collectively we could still come together and educate the people to do the right thing, to vote on issues that affect us. However, also the census are going to be faulty because the census happened it started and then the pandemic started. And I was working with the census in Detroit, Michigan, and people started shutting down. Don't talk to me, don't call me, I don't want to touch the paper. And then when the communication came out, you can do it on the computers, so many of our elders and even our young people, not the young people, I say 50 plus, so between 40, 50, and 60, don't trust putting their information on a computer. So I'm not going to trust the census, but he's absolutely right. They're going to use that jaded data and once again redraw the lines and change the game.
Hold on, please. Minister Malik, what's your thoughts?
I'm in agreement with what both our elder and our sister has said, and I think that and first of all, we need to understand not only the pandemic going on, which jacked up the census, but Donald Trump going on and not wanting an accurate accounting of our people. This was by design, and we're going to be locked in for 10 years. We need to petition President Biden. We need to petition the Congress to open up the census again. Let's go on. Let's get back out there and let's finish it with energy and zeal from an administration that is more pro-people than the previous administration. And when you're talking about POTUS coochie grabber, it is real easy to be more energetic and more caring against someone who gives you no energy and gives you no concern. We need this money. We need this money. And lastly, let me say this. To many people who have moved from Detroit, and people have a right to live wherever they want to live, please come back to Detroit. Please come back to Highland Park. If we get our numbers up to over 1 million again. We get all kinds of resources will be coming in from the federal government by law.
Okay, Minister, I got to cut back because we're ready to go. You want to say goodbye, please, real quickly? Minister, you want to say goodbye real quick?
Thank you, Billy. Thank you, Elder. And thank you, family. And God bless you. And after 2020, perfect vision, now must come better action. Get up, stand up, all power.
That's Minister Malik Shabazz. You can watch his program on Saturday. Time of his program, he has Teachers Lounge on from 7 to 8 a.m. He comes on from 8 to 10, and then from 11 to 12, he has Professor Confensi. Also Saturday night from 11 to 1, he's on 910. Thank you, Minister. Okay. Let's do it this way. Michelle, talk to me. We get about 2 minutes and I got to go.
Thank you, Billy Jones, for allowing me to be on the show. Thank you, family, for listening. And I also would like to say I can be stand corrected. I want to give out right information, positive information. I want to encourage you to stay active, be active, or become active because you count. We count. And I care about you. Michelle Broughton, thank you.
Don't hang up. I just want to say that, Michelle, you are, for me, for us, the eye on Detroit. And I'll be looking to get the reports about what's going on in Detroit, what type of activities you are involving yourself with, and just keep us informed, Michelle.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and have a wonderful night and wonderful day and great week, and be safe, and we'll talk with you again next week. Bye-bye. Leo, give us your goodbyes.
Well, I want to say goodbye, and the sister's right. You got to stay active because guess what? Your enemies are active. And if you are inactive, you are at a double disadvantage. You may not beat them if you're active, but you certainly ain't going to beat them if you are inactive. So stay active, stay focused on the local issues, and get involved in some kind of association of other people of like mind. That's what we preach here in Oakland. We've been doing it since, like I said, the Panther days, and I'm proud of my people in Oakland here. But our problems are the same as Detroit, and like I said, we're going to keep up with Detroit if for no other reason than reparations rate.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Leo Brazil, Oakland, California. Appreciate you, brother. Let's talk back with you next Wednesday. And family, this again is the Talk B. Jones. I am Billy E. Jones. Remember, you can watch us every Wednesday live from 10 to 11. And we're on all of your platforms. And please continue to share and put in those likes. It's been just wonderful. I just watched and look at the Facebook and see all the people who are just sharing so much great love to the Talk B. Jones, Billy Jones. Remember, we love you, we respect you, and there's nothing you can do about it except nothing you can do about it except nothing you can do about it except what? Love me back. Thank you, family. Have a wonderful, wonderful life. Bye now. You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones, and